Project planning is part of project management, which relates to the use of schedules such as Gantt charts to plan and subsequently report progress within the project environment. In this video, we will learn about project planning, why it is needed, and most importantly, the 10 steps of project planning. You may have a great idea for a project, but without planning, your project will still remain an idea. So planning is the critical step to take a project from an intangible theory to a tangible result. The project plan describes the cost, scope, and schedule for the project. It lays out exactly what activities and tasks will be required, as well as the resources needed, from personnel to equipment to financing, and where they can be acquired. Good project planning also factors in risk and how to manage it, including contingency plan, and details a communication strategy to keep all stakeholders up to date and on board. Project planning also provides the guidance by answering questions like how much will the project cost? What are the products or services that needs to be delivered? How to meet the need of the stakeholders? How and what all resources do we need for the successful completion of the project, and how will progress be measured? The purpose of project planning. Before we jump into the step-by-step of how to plan a project, let's consider why the planning phase is such a critical piece of the project lifecycle. The project management plan adds structure to the process by assigning an order to all the important parts involved in the plan. The purpose of a project management plan or PMP is to determine the project outcome. How a successful outcome will be achieved, how will we involved in the project, and how the project will be measured and communicated. Project planning communicates deliverables, timing, and schedule, along with team roles and responsibilities. During the planning phase of a project, the project manager is forced to think through potential risk and hang-ups that could occur during the project. It also establishes business requirements and manages time, cost, quality, changes, risk, and related issues. Now, a project plan includes 10 steps. So we can also say it is a 10-step process. First one is define stakeholders. The stakeholders include anyone with an interest in the project. They can include the customer or end user, members of the project team, other people in the organization the project will affect, and maybe the outside organization or individual with an interest. The second one is define roles. Each stakeholder's role should be clearly defined. Some people will fill multiple roles, however. The third one is introduce stakeholders. Hold a meeting to bring stakeholders together and unify the vision behind the project. The topics covered should include scope, goals, budget, schedule, and roles. The fourth one is set goals. Take what is gleaned from the meeting and refine it into a project plan. It should include goals and deliverables that define what the product or service will result in. The fifth one is prioritize tasks. List tasks necessary to meet goals and prioritize them based on importance and interdependencies. A Gantt chart can be helpful for mapping project dependencies. The sixth one is create a schedule. Establish a timeline that considers the resources needed for all the tasks. The seventh one is assess risk. Identify project risk and develop strategies for mitigating them. The eighth one is communicate. Share the plan with all stakeholders and provide communication updates in the format and frequency stakeholders expect. The ninth one is reassess. As milestones are met, revisit the project plan, and revise any areas that are not meeting expectations. The last one is final evaluation. Once the project is completed, performance should be evaluated to learn from the experience and identify areas to improve. The essential elements of a project plan. Project goal. What do we expect to achieve with this project? The project goal is the combination of the reasons for undertaking the project and the benefits that are expected from it. Generally, project goals are included in a project charter, but these should also be in the project plan to elaborate on the goals of the project. Scope statement. Like project goals, this project scope is included in a project charter and should be further explained in a project plan by the project manager. Identification of stakeholders' needs. Stakeholders could be end users, project sponsors, clients, and employees. All stakeholders and their needs should be considered. Setting milestone and identifying major deliverables. What specifically products or services do you need to deliver to your clients? These are called deliverables. The key achievement for a project are called milestones. A project plan should identify and define both these components and set deadlines for their completion. Budget. A project's budget is the amount of money allocated to complete the project. It is the responsibility of the project manager to disperse these resources appropriately. Dependencies. This is a stage where you set task dependencies, which means no one task can be completed without another. You cannot start a new task unless the previous task is completed. In project management, all tasks have dependencies. Dependencies are mutual relationships among tasks that determine the order in which activities needs to be performed. There are 4 types of task dependencies, and each one has its specific reason you would use it. The first one is finish to start. The second one is finish to finish. The third one is start to start. The fourth one is start to finish. Detailed project schedule. The project schedule informs all stakeholders what the expected delivery time will be and helps project manager and team members to keep the project progressing in the right direction at the right speed. Your project schedule includes the deliverables, task for each deliverable, start and due date for each task and deliverable, and how we'll complete them. Risk management plan. Risk management is about what could go wrong that would cause your project to deviate off track. What can you do to avoid risk or minimize their impact on your project? The project manager formulates strategies to mitigate risk to the project by seeking input from internal experts, stakeholders, the project team, and the project sponsor. Project planning tools and techniques. Project planning tools help people concerned keep track of project requirements and deadlines. Some of the most popular ones include the following. Gantt chart. Gantt chart are an industry standard that helps in tracking both time and interdependencies between tasks. Gantt charts is essential to show different phases, jobs, and resources involved in the project management. Critical path method, or known as CPM, is a crucial technique for determining the progress of the project to ensure that the project is on schedule. CPM helps in determining the essential or critical path by finding out the longest stretch of dependent task. PERT chart. The program evaluation and review technique helps in analyzing the tasks to complete the project and the time required to complete those tasks. PERT simplifies the planning and scheduling of large and complex projects. Work breakdown structure. Work breakdown structure is a process of organizing the team's work into manageable sections. WBS is a hierarchical structure of the deliverables needed to complete the project. Project documentation. Project documentation is created during the project life cycle, which involves project scope, its schedule, and the risk analysis. Project documents help in better understanding and risk analysis of the projects. On your screen, you can see few tools mentioned like Jira, Asana, Microsoft Project, and Red Boot. These are the tools which we use on a daily basis in project management. Moving on to few examples of the planning and scheduling tools and techniques. The first one here is Gantt chart. This is how a Gantt chart looks like, with the details of the task and the timings. The next example is Excel. Excel can be a best tool to track the schedule of a project. The third example is a work breakdown structure. Here, you break down the work into different levels. The another example is project documentation. Here, you can put in the details of the project documents, when it is requested, whom it is requested by, the date it is needed, and other details. The another example is Jira. This is how a Jira board looks like. Thank you. For any questions or queries, you can reach out to us at info@techcanvass.com. You can also call us at +91 93 255 66777. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.